Try this again. This is take two again. Just another day in paradise. Thank you guys for joining us wherever you are and however you may be accessing the show. We really appreciate you joining us today on Just Another Day in Paradise. Hopefully, you guys, everybody can hear me and Podbean, because for some reason every day there's some other issue going on with this. So on Just Another Day in Paradise, here we are again. Take five, whatever. Anyways, getting into what we're talking about today. We're talking about the state of the country, where we are, and all that stuff, and who we have to blame, and this day in history, Tanya Time, and NFL playoffs, and all that good stuff. Thank you guys for joining us wherever you are and however you may be accessing the program. We appreciate you joining us today on this beautiful Monday. Hopefully everybody can hear us and everything's working. What's up, Tanya Tolls? I don't know. Hopefully you can hear me. So I wanted to get into the state of things and whatever, and I want to pull up, because I've pulled up Fox News and CNN or whatever, and I'm looking for the stories for today, and it's always just a bunch of it's never ending. Like, it never stops. It's never ending with their bullshit, and I'm just getting sick and tired of it and fed up. Like, or whatever. And I'm looking for the. So we need to get into this. All right, so starting with the Capitol building, right? And I've talked about this already, talked about the Capitol building, right? We did a show on this on Friday, and I was trying to explain to people how foolish people are if you're buying into this, if you're getting worked up over this, if you're pointing the finger and saying if they were this color, they'd be shot dead, right? Or if they were this, they would be this, and if they were no, it's all bullshit. This is the same thing that happened in the riots. I would say Philadelphia. I could pick a city because the entire country was on fire over the summer, but that is not a reason to sit there and point the finger and be like, you guys did this, and then everybody on that side is like, well, you guys did this, and it's just a bunch of bullshit, and then we're left to suffer and pick up the pieces while these politicians play bullshit. Now they're trying to use the 25th Amendment again and get out Donald Trump, and there's like 5 days left, which is complete bullshit. That we know that the only reason that they're even letting you know what the 25th Amendment is because they're about to oust Joe Biden as soon as he gets into the presidency. They're going to use the 25th Amendment to get him out. That's the only reason why they're even talking about the 25th Amendment. Mark my words, they will use the 25th Amendment to get Joe Biden out of office. And then you have, they're trying to remove him from office with 5 days left and never let him run for president again, talking about Donald Trump or whatever. You got Nancy Pelosi already on 60 Minutes looking at the damage that happened to her office as they tried to get in, which, trust me, if an angry mob wanted to get into her office and drag her out, they would have. This is all smoke and mirrors, and it's all show, and it's all a bunch of bullshit. And excuse me if I start to rant a little bit, because I'm sick and tired of it, and I'm sick and tired of hearing about it every day. Like, we are literally living in a communist socialist America right now as we speak. We're living it. Everybody's waiting on the war to happen, right? Oh my God, we're going to go into civil war. Oh my God, we're going to go to war. Oh my God, this is so. We are in the thick of it. We are in the middle of it. It's these powerful people that play games with our lives. They steer us in different directions, and ultimately, in the end, they gain all the control. So they're steering us there. We are under attack right now as we speak. And I have footage, and I'm going to show the footage of the police just letting people into the Capitol building. Like, we know these things are bullshit. We know these things are lies. We know there's something else to it. And we haven't even gotten into COVID yet on this show today, because that's all another part of it, right? It's like never ending. This is the summer of 2020 and beyond is the beginning of them implementing their plan to take over America. And yet I seen a very good, I'm going to have to pull this comment up that I seen the other day, because it was absolutely spot on, perfect. And I have to pull it up because the guy's from India or whatever, and I found this comment the other day as I was searching through stuff, and he said it absolutely perfect. And he said, and I'll pull this up so most people can see it. He said, from India, you Americans slept at the wheel all these years while cunning career politicians stole your nation. Now you pretend as if it all happened overnight. It was lost much before Trump. He merely brought it into sharp focus. Absolutely spot on. We were asleep at the wheel. We were minding our business. We were just going out throughout life as they were making very strong strategic plans to control America and to switch it from a democracy, a people's republic, a free country, into a complete socialist utopia that we live in now. And we were asleep at the wheel and didn't even do anything about it. We just let them do it. We just went about life every day. And every single day we give more of our rights away through the fact that we fear them, that we're scared of them. Before I move into that, though, I want to show this video of the police. And I get stuff sent to me all the time. All the time. And I love it because I like to watch it all. It just exposes everything. I don't know where that video just went. Maybe this is it. Hold on, let me pull this up.
Just to let you.
Is it gone? Of course it is. Of course it is. Literally just had that video pulled up. There it is. So this is the video right here, and why the hell does it keep disappearing? I can't fucking touch it. Look, they're opening the security gates.
Yeah,
they're telling people, look, come on in, come on, let's get in here. Come on, it's time for the show. It's time to put on the show for America. So they can buy into this shit. It's time to put on the show. Come on, everybody. Police open the gates to the Capitol building and waved them inside. And look, do these people look like an angry mob that's about to take over everything? The dude's literally leading them to where they need to go. Leading them to where they need to go. Come on up here.
Crazy.
Come on up here, guys. Stop. Yep, we got to put on a show. And people buy into this garbage. Like, people think that that's real life. They think this stuff's really going on. They literally opened the gates and had them come into the Capitol building and storm into the Capitol building.
Well, I guess Joanna had a friend that was there, and he said it was pretty peaceful.
And it mostly is. It's the same thing with the riots, right? The mysterious pallets of bricks that were just happened to be in every single city that was having a Black Lives Matter riot, right? I'm not going to call it a protest because it wasn't a fucking protest. It was a riot. But what happens is these members, these Antifa members, and I find it funny because I remember like a couple years ago when Antifa came around, right? Everybody laughed at them like, Antifa, what are these kids going to do when they go up against real patriots, these big burly, these little skinny, scrawny kids? It's not about that, all right? They're outthinking you because you buy into what they're doing, and they outthink you like this. This is what they do. They go into these Black Lives Matter riots, right? And they say, we just need about 20 of these motherfuckers, right? To get these pallets of bricks. We throw some bricks, start throwing the bricks through some windows. We start causing some civil unrest. Everybody else through adrenaline and through a lot of passion or whatever, they're going to follow suit and they're going to do what we want to do. A lot of people are going to be opportunistic. We're going to throw some bricks through some Foot Lockers and people are going to start running in there stealing shit because that's what people do. I don't know about you, but if I was standing there and there was no police around and there was no cops and there was a jewelry store with the window busted open, I might just go in there and grab a few things because I'm poor folk. And that's what poor folk do, right? Like, they're just opportunistic, and that's how it happens. And the same thing happened at the Capitol building, right? They opened up the gates. It takes about 10, 20 Antifa members, whatever, to get everybody riled up and following them. And then everybody else will follow suit. At least a few of them will follow suit and go and play along with it. That's all they need. They know how to cause civil unrest. They are trained. They are not fools, all right? What they lack in bronze, they make up for in brains. They have a very strategic plan. These are trained Marxists who have been brought in to destabilize our country. And we must pay attention and focus on that. We cannot continue to kid ourselves and scream at each other across from the aisle when we're both being played the same exact way. And that's the point I was trying to make the other day. And that's the point I've been trying to make to a lot of people who are Trump supporters. You're being played. You are being played. Donald Trump never came into presidency. He was selected, not elected. He never came into presidency to save the country. He came in to be a major influential piece that will ultimately bring the downfall of this country. He gave you false hope. He gave you this false idea that we had a leader that could actually change the country and we could do something and we were going to bring back some conservative values and America's values. And then what are we left with? Ruins. ruins. America is in pieces right now. And those out there who are Trump supporters, I'm telling you, the guy is rubbing shoulders with the same people that the Clintons are, that Pelosi is. Like he presents himself like he is the enemy of the state, when actually he's feeding off of it all. He's part of it all. He's not immune to this. He's part of the plan to create this huge uprising of people who want the old America back. He's the face of it. He's the head of it, right? And he gives all these false hope, and he talks about draining the swamp. The swamp, by the way, in which he swims in. He swims in the same swamp that he tells you he's going to destroy. And you create this huge uprising, this one side, right? And then you create this other side that absolutely hates him and loathes him, and they can't stand him. And then they get pitted against each other. And then we suffer because of it. I said it a couple times in the show. We're the ones suffering, not these millionaire politicians, not these millionaire mainstream media people, not these fucking athletes that are out there doing these protests and telling you to do this and do that. Not these people that are coming on TV telling you to lock down in your homes. Nobody's suffering but us. We're left to suffer.
To me, he was just a celebrity.
He's just a pawn. Well, I wouldn't say he's a pawn. He's more like a rook. He's a bigger piece in the chess than he is a pawn. But he sure as fuck ain't no king. He sure as hell ain't the king. All right? He's just a rook. He's a knight. He's a piece in the puzzle. He's just a chess piece. That's all he is. And the elitists use him for that, because we, make no mistake about it, we are being taken over now. Right now it's happening. It's not going to happen in 6 months. It didn't start happening, it started happening a while ago, but it's happening right now in front of our very faces. We are literally being taken over by globalist elites. That's what is happening. Every story you watch on the news is misleading. Every story has 100 loopholes in it. Every story has footage in there where you're like, wait a minute, what? No, well, they let them in the Capitol building. Oh, so they didn't storm in. And then it basically becomes believe what you want at that point.
Well, that's what I said to you that day. I said, how did they just get in like that?
Right. Well, that's the big question. But the problem is people will say, that they were let in and this is all Antifa and this is this, that, and the other. No, there were Trump supporters that were involved in this too, because they were misled and they believed that they were doing something righteous. That's the problem, right? We're being misled even by people who are telling you they're leading you to the promised land, like a President Trump, who I bought into it too, believe me. But I've had things made very apparent to me and very obvious to me that he is also part of the plan, especially when you start seeing their banquets, their dinners, they're at the same places, they're rubbing. He's part of it. I don't know why all these right-wingers will sit there and say, I've heard the same people say presidents are selected, not elected, and then go out there and support Donald Trump like all of a sudden we were allowed to elect somebody. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden it changed. It changed with Donald Trump, right? The rules do not apply to him, even though he's been in mainstream media his whole life.
Right.
He's been in the front his whole life. He's been with these elitists his whole life. He's rubbed shoulders with the Epsteins, the Clintons, the same exact people. But all of a sudden, during this 4-year presidency, he's immune to all that. And all of a sudden, he gives a fuck about America and he wants to change it for the good. All of a sudden, I'm supposed to trust this guy. And I did. And I did, until I started to see what the plan actually was, and the huge uprising of extreme right wingers that they were going to pit against the extreme uprising of the extreme left wingers, and they were just going to clash them together. And then people like me and normal everyday Americans who really don't give a shit who the president is and don't hinge our lives on politics and just want to live and be happy, we're stuck with the destruction. We're stuck picking up the pieces. We're stuck being frustrated. The fighting amongst people is ridiculous at this point. It's gotten way too out of hand. We are being taken over, and if we don't figure it out and come together real quick, then we're going to blink our eyes and we're going to be in bread lines. We're going to blink our eyes and we're going to be lining up down the street to get gasoline when the government tells us we're allowed to get gasoline. We're already at the point where the government has told us that we have to shut down our businesses and wear masks everywhere we go. We're already at the point where they're forcing vaccines. Yes, they are forcing vaccines. I know my son's girlfriend has to go to college. She wants to go to college. She's headed there. Mm-hmm. Guess what they told her? Got to have a vaccine. You want to come to this college. Forced vaccines. That's a forced vaccine. You want to travel into my state, better have your vaccine, forced vaccines. You want to fly, better have your vaccine, forced vaccine. It's like that. You want to work at this place, you want to work at a nursing home, you want to work here, you want to work there, you better get your vaccine. And it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And best believe when January 21st comes, we are in a bad, bad way. Like we are in a bad situation. Agree? Mm-hmm. It's just going to get worse. We are under attack right now. America is under attack as we speak every day by mainstream media and the propaganda machine, by politicians who are controlled by very powerful people. That they think that they're just going to pass you off, just give you checks. We're already starting to live in socialism. They're giving us checks, right? Telling us what to do, giving us checks, telling us how much money we're going to get. We're already living in a socialist regime right now. We are watching the downfall of America. And on tomorrow's show, or maybe just a separate episode, maybe I'll just do a separate show altogether. I want to show what a KGB agent back in 1985, I want to play the video. I might just do a separate YouTube video on this. But he basically spells it out step by step by step, how we're going to demoralize America. How we're going to, brainwash the people into believing that we are each other's enemy and how race will ultimately be our downfall. We are in 2021. 2021. We should be turning the century. We have more biracial couples than we've ever had before in the history of America, right? Everybody's free to do what they want. Gay marriage is legal. Pretty much, abortion is legal. Like, we have done some crazy, amazing things. Some I don't agree with, some I do agree with, whatever. What don't matter. But here we
happening, are. Right.
We're living in a life that should be wonderful and great. I don't know any racist. I literally don't know a racist. I say it all the time in the show. I don't know anybody that's fucking racist towards anybody. Everybody I see just judges the individual by the individual. There's no more just this extreme gay hatred that went on in the 90s and shit, 80s and 90s. That's gone. It's gone. We should be living a pure and happy life. We should be coming together as Americans and being happy with ourselves because everybody just wants to live their lives at this point. There is no hate. We could be living in a beautiful country. Why are we not? Mainstream media and the propaganda machine, these politicians and these very powerful people that want to seize control over you and all of your shit. Period. But yet here we are at the ground level fighting with one another. What the fuck are we doing?
I'm not fighting with nobody.
No, but we are, though.
No, I know.
Like, we're categorized. We're categorized because we're white. We're white, we're categorized. Mm-hmm. Right? We gotta live our lives, white guilt all the time. We have to, tread lightly. We have to walk on eggshells all the time. Everything that we do is scrutinized. Evidently, I was given a white privilege card when I was born. I have no fucking idea where it is or why it didn't work for the last 36 years and why I'm struggling to pay bills and shit still. Because I supposedly had a white privilege card when I was born. I got to feel guilty every fucking minute of my life because the mainstream media makes it that way. And then there's a whole host of people who are brainwashed into believing that this shit's real. We are literally, it's 2021, we're fighting over race. Which they knew, the communists knew that would be our downfall. That our diversity would ultimately be our downfall. We are the melting pot of America. Our diversity should be a strong point. Mm-hmm. But they knew exactly what it was because it's very easy to trigger somebody when you start talking about race. Yeah. Super easy. I could start stating facts right now. I've lost friends over stating facts, right? Because it's just the sad fact of the matter. I'm very look in the mirror, don't point the fingers, fix your shit before you come at me with anything. But that makes you lose friends when you start speaking facts and things like that. It's tough. It's a tough situation because people don't like to hear it. People don't like to hear facts. God, I'm all over the place right there. I'm going to get to some comments or whatever because I want to kind of get through some of these fell right into the Democrats' trap. I don't know what I was talking about at the point because I'm just the smoke was thicker. Let's see here. Oh, they are today giving vaccines at your work. Are they forced vaccines? That's interesting. But you know what? You never know. It's all a trap. There's always some type of this underlying thing to it. It's just like this guy, right? That supposedly this Viking dude. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That everybody just like, I guess the picture, like the main guy that they want to promote or something like that. I don't know why the fuck this guy is. I don't know why this guy is so important, but this guy in this buffalo hat with this American flag paint on his face and everything else, like he's at a Black Lives Matter rally in June, and then he's at the DC Capitol in January. And I mean, there he is, Jake Angeli, and he's an actor, obviously, voiceover artist and singer. He's a crisis actor, which is what they use for false flags, but they don't have to do false flags anymore. Now they use people who are all riled up to go into they create these small little attacks, and then everybody else follows. So they don't have to create false flags anymore. They have a different tactic now where they just kind of do this thing right in your face, and they don't even care if you notice. They don't even care at this point if you notice what they're doing. Because there's so many people out there that are fooled and brainwashed that they just kind of they don't even pay attention. People aren't even paying attention no more. Our country is being taken over and people don't even pay attention to this shit. They don't even care. Give me my $600 check, and then we're supposed to get another check, and then we're literally living in socialism right now. We're shutting down small businesses. We're making you close down because of a virus that has a 99.7% survival rate. And then we're going to give you a check. What the fuck you think that is? Socialism. And you know who's flourishing right now? You know whose wealth is at an all-time high? Jeff Bezos of Amazon. He's rich and powerful. Wasn't that the motherfucker we were supposed to go after and tax the top 1%? We were supposed to tax them. We were supposed to live happy lives because we're going to steal their money. Ain't that how it's supposed to work? This motherfucker's out there worth trillions of dollars, and we're over here suffering. Ain't we supposed to be taxing him? Ain't Biden going after him? Whatever happened to that?
I don't know.
January 21st, I want Joe Biden to go directly after Jeff Bezos, and I want fucking 70% of what he's making to go to the American people.
It's not
and if it don't happen, then I guess this whole thing was just a fucking farce. And you could be grateful you voted for the son of a bitch. And when you go through these things, like this fucking guy in this Viking suit and whatever, like running around in this Buffalo Bill looking motherfucker, and you can't even talk about. You know this is fact checked. Do you know this is fact checked? And that's another thing. And I'm sorry I'm fired up, but let me get don't even get me started on this fact checking bullshit. What got to if my little picture of this dude in this Buffalo Bob fucking hat at a Black Lives Matter rally, and then again at the DC Capitol in June, what's the issue? Why you got to fact check that, pull that down? What are you scared of? Mm-hmm. What do they have to hide? What are they so afraid of that when I share a picture that says here he is at Black Lives Matter rally in June, and here he is again at the DC Capitol in January? Why does that have to be fact checked and pulled? Why? I don't understand the suppression of information that we have going on in this country and why it's so okay.
Yeah.
Like when they pulled down Donald Trump's Twitter account. I could give a fuck less about Donald Trump's Twitter account, but what I do care about is the fact that they're able to pull it down. And then they took it a step further. Not only were they able to pull down his Twitter account, they shut down a whole fucking app. Mm-hmm. Parler is completely pulled down from everything. They have that much power. Okay, here's an app that was made for people, for right-wingers, right, to discuss amongst themselves. They completely got rid of it. They are completely getting rid of your avenues for free speech and your ability to get your speech out there. I get in trouble all the time with YouTube. I talked about election fraud, okay, and they sent me an email. Because this is after I've already had a strike for talking about COVID-19 vaccines. I already got one strike for talking about the vaccines and how you shouldn't fucking trust them. And I don't give a fuck if they flag this or not. They could pull this down, flag me, toss me off for a week. I don't give a shit. But I talked about how COVID vaccines were unsafe, which has been proven they are unsafe. Motherfuckers is walking around with their face drooping. People have died. People have gone deathly ill, passed out. They're not safe. They were whatever. I'm not going to get into it too much, but I got flagged for that. I got my video pulled down, and I got a strike. The second time they sent me an email, they didn't give me a strike. This was for election fraud. I was talking about election fraud and how it was blatantly obvious that this thing was, and they made it obvious for a reason. They made it obvious to piss you off. That's why it was so blatantly obvious that they cheated this thing, because they wanted you to believe that it was cheated. They wanted you to be pissed off. They wanted you to be aggravated, because then it leads to things like this, like storming the Capitol. They accomplish a lot out of that anger. Trust me, if they didn't want you to know that it was fixed, you wouldn't know that it was fixed, right? So then I get an email from them saying, well, and the little email literally says, we don't think that you knew what you was talking about when talking about the the election fraud. So we don't want to give you a strike, but we are removing your video. That's what the email said. It said, we don't think you know exactly what you was talking about when it comes to election fraud. We didn't know. No, not that you didn't know what you was talking about. That you didn't know that it could have been offensible or a strikeable offense or whatever the fuck. So we're going to go ahead and give you a pass. We're just going to pull the video down, and we're not going to give you a strike on YouTube. Thanks, YouTube. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Eric said Twitter stocks crashed today.
Well, Twitter, I'm surprised people aren't just mass exodus on Twitter. And but the point is, if you can pull whole apps down and you can ban people's accounts, you should not cheer that. I wouldn't cheer that if that was Nancy. I wouldn't be cheering right now if they pulled Nancy Pelosi's Twitter down. I wouldn't be cheering right now if they pulled down some left wing, I don't know, whatever the fuck. Yelp. I don't know what left wingers are on Facebook. If they shut down whole ass apps, like, this is not good. This is very, very, very we're treading dangerous waters here.
Right, all that control.
Because people like me and Bahram, you was talking about this last night when we were shooting our show, like right afterwards. People like us who are trying to get information out there and who want to voice our opinions on air, we're about to start getting shut down left and right. I've already had strikes against me. I've already had emails sent to me from YouTube. I'm sure others have had emails sent to them. Podbean has shut down my recording right in the middle of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're treading dangerous waters here. And I know we're way over into this, but I mean, I just want to get all this out there because it's Twitter stocks crashed today. Collusion to shut down Parler and other free speech friendly platforms. People want to sign up for Parler. MeWe, Grab, and CloutHub. Even more people leaving Facebook, TikTok, Twitter in droves, and they really are. And I wonder, though, it makes me nervous. I wonder if Parler is up to something here, as if there's a publicity stunt, because when they put Parler back on, people are going to just flood to it. But I would love to see alternate different sites and different apps get some love other than Facebook, Twitter, and the big ones. The big ones. Because I'm sure massive amounts of people are going to leave Twitter, because massive amounts of people, much more people than you realize, are conservative. They make you think that the world is all progressive, that every gay person is progressive, that every black person is progressive. They make you think that the whole world around you is progressive and you're the only conservative out there, when the fact of the matter is, and the reality is, most people are all pretty conservative. The large majority of people are pretty conservative. Most people are conservative and don't even know that they're conservative, that they have conservative views, because they feel like they have to identify with whatever bracket they place them in, right? Like if you're a homosexual, you feel like you have to be a leftist because that's the platform that's, I guess, supports you, quote unquote. That's the platform that you have to use. They make you feel like everybody that's conservative hates your guts, which just simply isn't true. It's the same thing if you're African American. They make you feel like you have to be conservative. You have to be a Democrat because the right hates you, because the right is full of rich white dudes that want to ruin your life. They put you under that false precinct. But what you'll find out is there's a lot more conservative people in this world than what you think there actually is. And I wouldn't be surprised if Twitter drove itself into the ground. And that's the one power we have over this entire country. We are the number one consuming country in the world. If there's something that we're not happy with, We can all band together and stop using it, and they will just crash their market. I've said this before on this show. This is if we're not happy with Twitter, if there's millions of people out there on Twitter unhappy, they can just simply close their accounts out. And I bet you Twitter will fix their shit real quick. Or they'll go bankrupt. Because we drive it. We're the dollars behind Twitter. We're the users. If we wanted to shut down Facebook right now, all we'd have to do is get a few million people to delete their Facebook apps. And I guarantee you Facebook would change their shit real quick. Mm-hmm. But they have so much power over the people that's never going to happen. Twitter was on life support. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? They killed my show. Podbean did. But she said Twitter was on life support till Trump ran and became president of the United States. And Twitter should love Donald Trump because he's the main driving force behind Twitter. He recently quit Facebook, fascist book. But the bad thing about it is where do you go? What platform do you go to? What do you broadcast on? Because those are the main ones, you know what I mean? Like I've tried Parler. I'm getting no love on Parler. There's nobody on Parler. Maybe I just need to be more aggressive with my social media. Well, Parler's gone now. But maybe I need to be more aggressive with different social medias. I just feel like I could post a video on Facebook and get 1.6 thousand views on it. Or I can post it onto, what the fuck is, it's the other one. I forget what the other one is. It's not Yelp. It's, I forget. It's some alternate. It's not YouTube. It's like BitChute, and get like 2 views. So do I want the 1.4 thousand views or do I want the 2 views on BitChute that nobody's on? That's the issue. YouTube has all the power and control because that's where everybody's at. Until we band together and get on different social media platforms or figure out a way around their bullshit, we're just kind of stuck with where we're at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
VOP is working on launching a new free speech-friendly podcast and radio network. I would love that. I just don't like the oppression of freedom of speech. That's the one that really bothers me. The site is still there. Parler is only gone to download. I have it downloaded on my phone still. I was thinking about getting on it yesterday, but I was like, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, a story coming out that ex-Capitol Police Chief says National Guard request was denied before the riot, could have held back the mob. There was no mob. We watched you open the gates for these people. We have video evidence. Stop with the bullshit. Stop with the bullshit, Fox News, CNN, MSNBC. People have to stop believing this shit, this garbage. Okay? It's fucking garbage. Every time I see this, it gets me pissed off. My blood's pumping. I'm sweating. It's bullshit. Ex-Capitol Police Chief says the National Guard request denied before the riot and it could have held back the mob. I literally have video of you letting in the mob. Mm-hmm. How can people be this stupid?
I don't know. Everything's going to happen the way it's going to happen.
But how can people be this fucking dumb? If you're out there and you believe that this was a real thing, this was a real attack, and this was some planned strategic, how can you be that dumb? When you literally have video evidence of them opening the gates and telling them to come on, waving them in, like tourists. Mm-hmm. I have video of it. How do people buy into this shit? And then it's just story after story. Capitol rioter carrying Confederate flag wanted by FBI. Melania Trump disappointed and disheartened over Capitol attack. And then it's just like, come the fuck on. I have video evidence proving that you let them in. I have video evidence proving that the same people that were in Black Lives Matter protests and riots were the same people that were leading and spearheading the Capitol bullshit. Like, the evidence is all there. I'm not allowed to talk about it, though, because it get pulled down and I'll get flagged. And I don't even give a fuck at this point anymore. I don't even care. Flag me. Pull me down. Because I'm going to keep spreading the truth. I don't care. I just simply don't care anymore. I'll just find another app to go on to. I'll just find another podcast group to go on to. And I'll just keep talking this shit. Because it needs to be talked. Because it's blatantly obvious what they're doing. 25th Amendment. Fucking people. I swear to God. Do you have anything? God damn, we've been on for 30 minutes. Can we move on? My Parler will not load. I read an article that said Amazon pulled them from their servers this morning. Right, that's what I heard. I heard that Amazon pulled they shut it down from their servers and everything. That there is no more Parler to get onto. And they stayed in the red ropes when they went in. Like there's so much. It's like a coup d'etat is going on here. Like that's what we're doing. A coup d'etat. Is that how you say it? Coup d'etat? It's a coup.
I don't know.
It's a coup. We're living in the middle of a coup, and everybody's a part of it. I don't even know who to trust anymore. I literally don't know who to fucking trust. I don't trust the media. I don't trust any politician whatsoever. I don't trust any athlete. I think these athletes have no fucking clue what's going on. None. They tell you to act this way and do this shit, and they have no clue what's even happening. I don't trust any actors, anybody that makes more than $500,000 a year. I don't trust you. Is that a good stopping point? 500 grand. Anybody that makes six figures a year, I don't trust you. You make 100 grand a year, I don't trust you. I just don't fucking trust you. You're part of it, right? I don't trust anybody. I don't even fucking trust you at this point. Like you could be in on it. You could be fucking brainwashing me or something in the middle of the night.
I am.
I'm scared to death about everything.
I plant little microchips in your
I'm paranoid.
ears.
I'm super paranoid.
Up your nose.
Up my nose with the COVID test.
All that.
Is that what you're doing?
That's what I'm doing.
They're planting microchips in our brains with COVID-19 test. I don't trust them. We're in bad times. We're in dangerous times right now, and it's aggravating. It's frustrating. I don't know. Do you have a segment you want to do?
I can.
God, man, like I feel like that take was really bad because I had a bunch of stuff planned that I wanted to say, and then just thing kind of threw me off this morning. But it's just like, God, man, at what point do we just recognize all this for what it is? Like I said, I'll end it with this. We're in 2021, okay? You would think we're in the most hate-filled world we've ever lived in based on what mainstream media tells you. But people we are literally at a point where people no longer give a shit if you're gay, if you're black, if you're white, if you're Asian, if you're a gay Asian black guy who's raising a heterosexual female fucking Polynesian. We don't give a fuck anymore. We are at a point where we should be at an all-time peaceful place in this country. People are I don't know about where you guys live in the United States, but here in Ohio, people are very kind and friendly to one another. When we go out of state, people are very kind and friendly to one another. But yet here we are, believing that everybody is against everybody. You turn on social media and you would think everybody's at each other's throats and wants to just kill each other. And we shouldn't be at that point. And what's the common denominator with all of this hate? Mainstream media. That's the common denominator. It is a propaganda machine. It is a tool to brainwash the masses. That is all it is. Everything you see on your television is indoctrination. Everything. I don't give a shit if it's a movie, if it's a TV show, if it's a news channel. You are being indoctrinated. You are being brainwashed. You are being taught to believe a certain way, whether or not you believe it or not. No matter what side of the aisle you stand on, you are being conditioned to believe a certain thing that simply isn't true. We should be living in peace right now, but we're not. And the only reason we are not is because of mainstream media. The propaganda machine is rolling over top of us. They've known how powerful the television could be for many, many years, and now they are using it to its fullest extent, along with this powerful tool called social media. And that's where we are in the state of this country. That's where we are. It's upsetting. It is the dumbing down of America. Eric, it is the dumbing down of America. I heard special forces have seized Pelosi's laptop. It'd be interesting to see what Trump says at 1:30 today. He is supposed to be speaking at 1:30 today.
About?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But is he allowed to speak? Are they allowing him to speak?
They're probably telling him what to say.
Probably. I don't know. Maybe he unloads. Maybe he drains the swamp like promised after all these years. Maybe he comes in and he declassifies all the information that we've been that he's been promising us for 4 years. Hillary's laptop, the Biden emails, everything. Where is it? Where the fuck is it?
Mm-hmm.
I want to know. Where is it? Where is it, Trump? Pull the fucking shit out. Let's go. Let's do this. You know, you got like 5 more days, buddy. Let's figure this out. God. You ready to do your segment?
I guess.
So it's Tanya time, and I hope that he does pardon Julian Assange. I can always have trouble. Edward Snowden. You know those guys?
I don't.
Those are guys that WikiLeaks guys. Those are guys that were exposing people and they got locked up for it.
Oh.
Which was, they should be exposed, but whatever. What do you got for us?
I don't know. I just found something
It could be dangerous to use these everyday items after expiration.
That.
That's interesting.
Okay. Moisturizer.
Like any moisturizer.
Expires in 2 years. And it can...
Moisturizer expires?
It can be breeding grounds for bacteria, like after the expiration date.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. I'm not a big moisturizer guy. I don't use a whole lot of moisturizer.
So it says replace every 3 to 6 months. Sunscreen. That expires in 3 years, which I didn't know. I thought it was 1.
3?
Because every year I'm like, oh, that probably doesn't work. I have to get new.
Well, you buy more sunscreen. It don't matter if you got fucking 5 bottles of it. You always buy a new bottle of it every year, right? Sunscreen. We don't use a lot of sunscreen here in Ohio.
Well, I guess that one is just for like it won't work as good.
Yeah, you get sunburnt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Laundry detergent apparently expires in 6 months.
Laundry detergent expires in 6 months? That's a short shelf life.
It breaks down over time, I guess, making it much less effective.
That's weird. That's crazy. I never knew that.
It says if you buy in bulk because it's a cheaper way of doing it, you might want to think again.
Huh. Do we buy in bulk? I don't know. I don't buy laundry detergent.
I do enough laundry to where that shit is not going to last
It's ridiculous the amount of laundry
time
that we do in this damn house. Like, what the hell?
It is ridiculous. That I do. Correction. Hydrogen peroxide. That expires in 2 months.
Hydrogen peroxide expires in 2 months. Didn't know that. Why? What's bad with it after 2 months? You could...
If it's outdated, you could run the risk of developing an infection, and nobody wants to be visiting the hospital right now.
Right. But do you know... Yeah, nobody wants to visit the hospital right now. Did you know that... have you ever heard of the 48-hour miracle cure or whatever the fuck it is? I've told you about this.
I don't know.
It's food-grade hydrogen peroxide. Remember when I bought some?
Yeah.
And you do like a drop every day in an 8-ounce glass of water, and you go up to 2 drops and 3 drops. And the food-grade hydrogen peroxide, the drops or whatever, it increases... the oxygen in your blood, and it makes you heal from things much faster. It's even been said to be a cure for cancer. Like there's been cancer patients out there that have outlived about their death sentences by years by using food grade hydrogen peroxide. There's a process you go through. You like drink so many drops and then you downgrade back down, but that's what it does. It increases the blood flow and your oxygen in your blood.
Is it expensive?
It is expensive. Yeah, I had some. I tried it. Yeah, for a little bit. It's just so nasty. It's not good at all. And I was scared of it too.
All right. Well, this one says a kitchen sponge. It expires in 1 week.
Well, I mean, pretty much, right? I mean,
the bacteria.
Dude, as soon as I smell a sponge and it stinks, I'm like, nope, it's done. I'm not touching that thing.
Yeah.
I like the sponges on the end of the plastic. Talking about with the soap in the tube and shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's much better.
We use,
then you have to touch the nasty sponges. Sponges freak me out.
All right. This one
See
says
you guys, Eric. See you, Eric.
running shoes. Your running shoes expire.
No, they don't.
Yeah, it says right here in 6 months.
No, they don't. That's bullshit. They don't expire in 6 months.
I mean, it says the more you run, the more frequently you should replace your footwear.
No. They're full of shit. Your running shoes don't expire unless you actually. We have hella shoes. Obviously it don't expire.
Says a car seat expires in 5 to 6 years. I mean, your kid's probably going to outgrow it. Well, I guess they make those all in one nowadays.
Do they?
Yeah, I didn't have that luxury, but
That's good.
right here in 6 months.
No, they don't. Did you hear yourself?
Yeah.
Did you hear yourself talking shit? Did you?
I guess.
You want to fight about it? You know what I'm sick of? You know what I'm sick and fuck? You know what is it's about to expire in my life? You snore way too much when you sleep.
Am I done with this?
It's extremely loud when you snore at night. Do you know that how loud it is when you snore at night?
I don't.
It's so loud. And the farts. Oh my God. The flatulence is ridiculous. What are you eating, for the love of God? You eat way too much macaroni and cheese. That makes bitches fart.
I don't even eat macaroni and cheese.
What are you eating at night to make you so gassy and snore so much?
I was like totally in the middle of doing
My bad.
that.
Continue.
No, I'm
just
done. There's comments.
I'm just kidding. You don't snore. You don't fart. At least not in front of me. This sponges are very gross. They do gross me out. He said I can't even touch it. Vaccine update. Boss headed to the hospital. No fucking way. This is happening live right now. Boss is headed to the hospital. First vaccine, hands got tingly. The second today, she feels dizzy and she's like she's going to throw up. Ah, man, that is crazy. And then PJ with the fart emoji. What would you do if you was sitting at your work and they was giving out vaccines?
I have no idea.
You'd
Not get one.
I know what you would do.
And
I know exactly what you would do. You would say, hell no. Right? Tanya, it's time for your vaccine. And you'd be dancing your way out of the room. Like as you're backing up away from the vaccine people, from the needles. What are you going to do if you want to go, if you ever want to go visit your family in Germany?
I don't want to talk about it. I do want to go visit my family in Germany.
But you're going to have a vaccine to do so.
I'll figure it out then. It's a touchy subject. I don't want to talk about it right now.
Okay, we'll move on. But that sounds pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the vaccine will help with the gas. You never know. Was it the crickets that gave you gas?
I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't have no gas.
Bro, don't lie.
I'm not lying.
Be real. Be real with it.
I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't have gas. Sorry. Like, believe it, don't believe it. I don't give a shit.
I don't have gas. I swear. It's not me. It's not me. It's the cat. It's the cat.
Guess.
Blame it on the cat. The cat stinks. I hear that all the time. The cat stinks. Why does that cat fucking smell
Your
like
cat,
she does?
not my cat.
She stinks.
Your cat.
All the time. Are you farting on the cat?
Yeah.
What are we even talking about right now? Oh
I
my
was
God.
doing a session, but
Things that expire. I mean, milk expires. You got to throw that out. I was going to do celebrity birthdays, but there's nobody on there. Do you have anybody on there to do celebrity birthdays?
just Mary J. Blige. She's like 50 or
I
something.
can't stand Mary J. Blige. Roy said, Tanya, I bet you won't hit a motherfucker.
I bet I will.
I bet you won't. You ain't got the fucking balls.
Sure don't.
We had to pick our kid up from school today. He's in quarantine.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Let's talk about that. Let's end on this COVID shit because, we got vaccines going on. We got more quarantines going on. Fuck, we're in the next year now. 15 days to slow the spread. That was a millennia ago. We're way past
there
15
she is.
days.
Yeah, she's 50.
50.
Right. Yeah.
Fuck her. I can't stand her. But, so we have to go kick ourselves.
You can't stand her and she don't even know you.
I don't care because she's a bitch. I don't care. But so our kid is in school today, and you had to go pick him up because he was exposed to somebody who had COVID
On
and
January
get this,
2nd.
January 2nd.
Yeah.
He's been at school over a week at least now.
She
A
was
week
like,
and a day.
this took place on January 2nd. And I was like, wait, they were at school all last week.
What'd she say?
She's like, they can continue their evening activities tomorrow and they come back to school on Wednesday. I was like, so basically I gotta come get them right now. And
For what?
she's like, yeah. I said, I'll be there in 5 minutes. She was like, 5 minutes? I was like, yeah.
That's the bullshit. That's the thing. Like, what? What? For what?
I have no idea. Don't even
He's
know.
been at school the entire week. He was exposed January 2nd, which was
Practice. So
they wasn't even in fucking school at the time.
so I'm there picking him up and I see all the other moms pulling in too.
What's today's date? It's the 11th. It was 10 days ago, 9 days ago. He's been going to school this whole time, and now he's only supposed to quarantine until Wednesday. What the fuck are we doing here?
They don't know.
Nobody knows. Like, what are we doing? And at what point
And
do
the
we
principal was frustrated too. She was like, "This has took up my whole weekend."
And I know that that the educators.
She was like, "I didn't sign up for this." She said, "I just wanted to teach kids." And I was like, "I bet."
Yeah, and I feel bad for a lot of educators.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really liberal dickheads out there that are like, "Don't teach these kids because it's not right." Blah blah blah. But there are a lot of really good educators out there that don't want to deal with this shit anymore that we do. And they're like, "Let's just fucking, go to normal. This is ridiculous." There's a lot of those educators out there. Everyone that I've talked to is kind of like, they're so apologetic.
Yeah.
Like they don't want you to do this stuff because they know how obscene and how absurd it is. But welcome to the United States of America. That's what way we live now.
Well, it throws these kids off, too.
There is absolutely 0 point for our kid to be sitting downstairs right now. 0. It is accomplishing nothing. He's been to school all last week. He was exposed on January 2nd, evidently. Allegedly. He went to school all week long. It's the 11th. He's fine. He's not sick. They're telling them that they're probably going to be able to play their game tomorrow night, and they'll be back to school on Wednesday. Tell me what the fuck.
Oh no, she said she didn't know about the game.
Okay, so we don't know
Just
about the game,
activities.
but we do know he's going back to school on Wednesday.
And I was pretty sure that DeWine put out an order that said they no longer have to quarantine all the other students that were in contact as long as the protocols were followed.
Right.
So why is my kid here?
I have no idea.
Because
why
I'm
my kid's
pretty
even
fucking
downstairs.
sure he wears his mask and sits behind his fucking little plexi whatever board.
They wasn't at school on the 2nd, but he had practice because he plays for the school team, so he had practice on the 2nd. That's why he was there. And that's the day he got exposed to the kid on his team. But the point is, it was the 2nd. He's been to school the entire week.
Last week, today.
There's literally no reason for him to be
and gets
here.
to go back on Wednesday.
There's no reason. This is his 2nd quarantine. Mm-hmm. I don't even think we even know what we're doing anymore. I think we're just doing. I don't even know what we're doing anymore. What the fuck are we doing? He goes back to school on Wednesday, so he gets the rest of today and tomorrow off school, and then he goes right back to school on Wednesday.
He'll either have practice
because
or
I guess
a
the
game
rest of today and tomorrow
are gonna make all the difference.
Going to make a huge difference in him exposing somebody.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
It's crazy. We live in a crazy, fucked up world, don't we?
Yeah, man.
We really do. I'm going to get my
Well, he'll have practice.
Mexican citizenship.
or
I'm
a
telling you
game.
right now, Mexico better build a fucking wall. Keep us out.
You're stupid.
They have beaches, nice weather.
Yeah.
Let's get our Mexican citizenship. Are they still experiencing the... They don't want us gringos down there. They'll be like, get the fuck out of here, gringo. They have cartels. Maybe I should be a cartel. Maybe that's where the money is. Maybe that's where the future is. We're going to be living in Mad Max 2050.
Good.
Like this is going to be free for all. It's going to be like the Wild Wild West. I don't know. I just don't see the point of him, though, being downstairs. It's literally...
They could have,
makes no sense.
saved me a whole ass morning if they would have just called last night. So that was cool.
Yeah. But it's still... It just... It don't make sense. I don't know. You agree?
Yeah.
Millennials support socialism because they want to make America great, but for everyone. Literally, they have no idea what socialism is and what Marxism is and what it really means. I just got that sent to me, by the way. It's a book. Millennials support socialism. No, it's a. Yeah, it looks like a book. I don't know. I get so much shit sent to me. It's so crazy. And just to watch it all and to read it all and there's a lot of people out there that expose all this shit for what it is, but trying to present this information is almost impossible. It's like talking to a brick wall. I might as well have a conversation with my drywall, trying to let people understand what is going on. We now have the new variant. Do you know the new COVID-19 variant? It's now in New York City, and it's also in Colorado and the United Kingdom. It was discovered in the United Kingdom. This is the mutation of the COVID-19. It's called B.1.1.7.
Is it? That's cool.
That's what it's called. B.1.1.7.
Well, at least it has a name.
It does have a name.
Or a letter and some numbers. That's cool.
B.1.1.7. This is COVID. I don't know what the fuck that means. Yeah, but that's where we're at. B.1.1.7 is the new COVID variant. It's the new mutation, and it is running rampant. It's going to kill you right away. I don't even know. This shit don't even make sense anymore. We just kind of just go with the flow now, don't we? It's awful. Goodness gracious, your sister's over here. Commenting. They got him out of the Simpsons predictions.
The guy.
Oh, I'm way late on her
With the
comments.
painted
But thank you
face.
for commenting, Joanna. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Did you watch that Hovian Pulitzer video I sent you? I think so. Let me go to it real quick and look. I don't see it. You didn't send me no video. You didn't send me a video. You sent it to somebody else or something. I don't know. Holy shit, it's 1:10. I gotta go. Hopefully we'll be back on tomorrow and everything will work smoothly. That would be nice.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Thank you guys for listening to today's podcast. Thank you guys for being a part of the show and being here with us today. Tomorrow, what are we talking about tomorrow? You got something? We need to address something.
What's that?
I don't know. Make sure you guys check out our Facebook page and YouTube stuff at jadip2020.com. You can check out the website at www.jadip2020.com. We would love to have you on there. Something just got sent to me at WhatsApp. Oh, never mind. Make sure you guys check out our new show, Penny for Your Thoughts. You can find us. You know what? I'm going to put out a link somewhere. I'm going to have to post that on our Facebook page because it's kind of hard to find at this point because it needs more likes and more people so I can do an @ But make sure you guys check out Penny for Your Thoughts. And Byram, you entered the studio 57 minutes into the show, but that's okay. Thank you guys for listening. You guys have a wonderful afternoon. I will see you all tomorrow, 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Say goodbye.
Bye.